So this video isn't about me for once, but instead it's about my pets. I've had tons of requests to do a reveal, and I figured it's about time that I do that. You may have seen my cat's paws poking in and interrupting my videos, or heard my dog barking upstairs. Now you get to see them. I was planning on filming myself talking with the animals beside me and whatnot, but they would not cooperate, so instead I'm just going to be showing a ton of pictures of them while I talk, and I'm also going to have a little in memoriam part of this video for some of my more recently passed pets because they deserve to be included as well. So yeah. So first, let's start with my kitties. They're both about 5 years old. I got them in high school from one of my friends. His cat had kittens, and I begged and begged and begged my parents to let me have one. And then we actually ended up with 5 kittens and the mama cat, taking care of all of them while my friend was going through some personal stuff. My mom ended up falling in love with one of the other kittens, so that's how we ended up with 2. All the rest found good homes, but it was so hard to part with them. It was amazing to get to raise them from so young with their mama though. Now I'll get into more individual details about their little personalities. So Sophie, the girl cat, is the one my mom chose. She's independent, adventurous, sassy, and demands attention, but only when she wants it. She used to be so little compared to her brother, but she's caught up in size a bit now. She has some skin problems we've been trying to help her with, but my dog manages to constantly bring fleas in the house, which does not help, and it's disgusting. But yeah, so Sophie loves following me around, and we actually have a little bond, so I might actually be taking her with me when I move, if it doesn't break my mom's heart too much, but I love her. And then Mordu is her big brother. He's my cat, but he actually bonds with my parents more. Weird how that worked out. I love him to death though, and do plan on taking him with me as well. I think it's because my parents give him tons of treats, so I should easily be able to win him back, hopefully. He's named after the bear in the Disney movie Brave. Which is ironic because he's the most skittish, anxiety-prone cat ever. I'm convinced it's because when he was little, my dog got a bit too close and freaked him out, so for the first 3 years of his life, he would not come out of the basement. Poor guy. He's gotten better over time though, and likes to sit by my parents while they're working, and he gets brushed at night. He has one eye that always winks, and it's been that way since he was a kitten, and it's so cute, but I'm not sure why. So my cats are like my babies, but the dog is more like a sibling. The dog's name is Gru. He's about 7 years old, and my brother named him that as a joke, but it stuck for some reason. I wanted to name him Stitch, like in Lilo and Stitch, because he's a troublemaker. He still acts like a puppy. He's a blue heeler, so he has lots of energy. My dad walks him every day, and it's definitely his dog, even though he always claims to not want pets. You know how dads are. We got him from a cow farm, and now he's so spoiled. He gets a new toy every week. He's super affectionate to close family and loves to cuddle, but for some reason, every other dog in the world hates him. My dad claims the daily walks are always pretty dramatic. He's an annoyingly good guard dog and barks every time someone's at the door, even if it's one of us. He likes when we're all home because it's in his genes to be a herding dog. He failed puppy school, actually, because my dad was too embarrassed to take him to the graduation, knowing he would fail. He's really just too smart, so he just does what he wants. And my boyfriend also has a dog that I'm including on this list. Well, it's his mom's dog, but we take care of him from time to time. His name is Taz, and he's a pit bull mix. He's a big old lumpy guy, but he's still super strong and energetic. My boyfriend's family actually worked to train him, so he listens to commands very well. My boyfriend's mom loves walking and playing with him, and she has a huge property for him to run around freely, so they're both really happy. Now I'm going to move on to the in memoriam part of this video, going over my past pets. I only have a couple pictures for this section and it won't be as long, but I just really wanted to share. Walter was the most recent pet to leave us. He was a big ol' fluffy chow chow mix and was so cute. He hated being brushed though and was a bit too aggressive to take to a proper groomer, so it was difficult taking care of all the fluff. He was my grandparents' dog when he was a puppy, but when they moved, we took him in. He was definitely my mom's dog. She was the only one who could grab him and give him a big hug, and he loved it. He was actually supposed to die like 4 times in his lifetime, but he didn't pass away until he was like 16. We unfortunately had to put him down because he was getting very sick and couldn't walk anymore. And this was during the first quarantine, so it was all really, really difficult and a really hard decision to make too. But he had a good long life and we all have great memories of him. I'm sure I could still find his hair around the house somewhere with how much he would shed. Next up, I have my baby Rubidium. She had a very, very short life, only about 1 year because she had a lot of medical issues. Probably because I got her from PetSmart, honestly. I loved her so much and would always carry her around on my shoulder. I know not everyone likes rats, but she was the sweetest little thing. She never bit me, not once, and she always wanted to explore. I would always bring her mini versions of whatever I was eating, which was so fun to get to share with her. She had 2 strokes and was still a fighter. She wasn't able to walk in a straight line and always had her head tilted to one side near the end. I knew it was pretty serious, so I did my best to give her a good life. I feel horrible I never got her another rat friend because I know they're social creatures, but when I got her in the first place, the other rat in the cage was so much bigger than her and was picking on her. So the story of when I got her actually is kind of silly. Me and my friend would go and just look at animals when we were bored, and the one day I saw her and absolutely fell in love. I didn't want to leave the store. I just stood there watching her for at least an hour, and I texted my parents begging to let me have her, and I think my mom knew how I felt because I can't imagine them agreeing any other way. So the very next day, I made my parents wake up and take me there the minute that they opened. I'm not even kidding, we were waiting outside the door. I usually hate people like that, but like this was important, okay? So I could get Ruby a cage and all of that. I was so glad that no one else took her overnight, and I was so happy, and we were best friends for the short period of time that I did get to have her. We also had 2 guinea pigs a few years ago who lived surprisingly long lives. Guinea pigs are probably my mom's favorite animal, and they were a Christmas present to her. I took care of them the most, and we would always cuddle. Augustus was the first one that we had, and he was a big guy. He was so sweet. Then we felt like he was a little lonely, so we got Colonel. Colonel was just a little baby, but he bullied Gus, so we had to keep them separated for a bit. He would bite his hair off and would push him off the ledge of their enclosure. They ended up being okay with each other, and I would give them baths together and let them run around on the floor and play. Near the end, they both got weird lumps on them. I think it was just fat deposits though, because it didn't seem like they were in pain, and they did eat a lot. They would actually yell at us to get snacks for them every time we opened the fridge, and sometimes I can still hear their little weeding and chirping in my head. Some other pets that I've had. Sorry. Some other pets I've had from long. Some other pets I've had from long ago that I don't have pictures of are Chloe, my first cat, who lived with me until I was about 15 and passed away in my arms. Regis, who was my first dog, and actually gave me a scar on my eyebrow from accidentally knocking me into the TV stand when I was learning how to walk. I was really, really little. Many fish, including Rachel, the blue male betta, and Relish the frog. And we had a couple of hermit crabs too. So we had Peanut Butter, Sue, Gary, and Kingler, who was our first one and also managed to be our last one. Sorry. I'm sure a lot of you know how I feel talking about this, but I did want to share. Just the good memories I have and talk about all my pets and how much I love them, you know. So thank you guys for showing interest in all my pets, and I love them all so dearly and miss the ones who have passed so much. I really can't imagine a life without animals, so I know I'll have many more to come in the future as well. Until next time, bye!